Welcome to Breaking the Silence Mental Health Conversations with your hosts, Kim Oliver and Dr. Richard Doss. Together, we'll break the silence and challenge the stigma by speaking now. So, take a deep breath, get comfortable, and let's dive in. It's time to start the conversation.
So let me tell you a little story.
Okay.
Let me tell you a little story. So I go to visit a lady and she is selling some cars. And she has about 60 cars, all collectibles, like the Jay Leno collection. And she says, the man that I've been with for 34 years. But we never got married. We never got married. He had a marriage and I had a marriage, and neither of those turned out well. And so he was bitter and hurt and was never interested in getting married again. And so we were together for 34 years. And after 34 years, one of the things that I realized was that while he trusted no one, he didn't trust me either. He didn't trust me either. And so when he died and we weren't married, I had no benefits coming. I had no VA inheritance coming. All of the cash that he had, about $250,000, he gave to his only daughter. And so the man that I was with for 34 years gave all the money away. Didn't trust me. But he gave me $2 million worth of cars. And I said, it sounded like he trusted you a lot. And so it left me with the question, what is trust? What is trust? Where does it come from? How do you get it?
How do you know you have it?
How do you know you have it? And so I want to start just there. What is trust? From your perspective, what do you see it as being? I mean, I can jump in and make some offerings. I know it's one of the things that, you know, you have
I
a
talk
forte,
a lot about
right?
trust.
You do,
I do.
you do. And as she was talking, I didn't really know if I know what trust is.
Well, I think the reason you don't know what trust is I think it means different things to different people. And I think in our culture, in our society, we've created trust in relationships around, I can trust you not to hurt me. So if I trust you, it means I know you won't cheat on me. I know you won't gamble our money away. I know you won't start taking drugs. I mean, there's things that you think mean trust. And I think trust kind of means having some predictive ability to know what your partner or other people in your life, it may not be your partner, it might be a friend, what they might do. And if that's how you define trust, that's kind of how I think of trust. And I think we can do that, but we often try to do something different. So I think we can trust people to do the things that they've already shown us that they are prone to do.
Okay.
But most of us don't trust people to do that. We trust people to be who we want them to be.
Ooh.
And that's usually not the same person. And so when they act in a predictable way, we get all upset. And I think, why are you upset? They've shown you this is what they do. This is something you can trust. You can trust that they're going to do this until they consistently show you something different, because I believe people can change. I'm a counselor. I wouldn't be a very good counselor if I didn't think people could change. But people don't change because you want them to change, because what they do works for them. And so most people continue to do the things that work. And that may mean that you're continuously hurt and disappointed unless you decide, I love this person, I trust that they're going to continue to do what they do, and I'm okay with that. But you may not be, because everybody has to know where their boundaries are. And if someone that you care for is not behaving in a way that's consistent with what you want, then you may have to decide this isn't the person.
So here's what comes to mind as you speak. I wonder when people use the phrase, you have to earn my trust. Are they actually saying that you have to earn the ability for me to trust that you are going to do what I think you are going to do? You have to earn my trust that you are going to do the thing that I want you to do.
You have to consistently show me that that's the person you're going to be.
Wow.
And maybe you're lucky and you found the person that matches what your version of trust is. That's great. But that's not always the case. So then you have a serious decision to make. Do you ignore it? Do you continue to trust this person to be who you want them to be and be disappointed all the time? Or do you move on and find a different person? Or do you adjust and accept this person for who they are? I mean, nobody, maybe it happens in fairy tales, but I don't really know too many real life fairy tales. There may be a few. But nobody gets the perfect person. You know, you choose someone that you think you can spend or that you want to spend the rest of your life with. And there will be trade-offs. There'll be some things about them that don't match your ideal picture. And you need to know, is this a deal breaker? Or is this something I can accommodate to?
Well, I have a client who said this. I asked the question, do you trust your wife? And he said, I trust that my wife won't cheat on me, but I don't trust her with my money.
Those are two different things.
And I said, you don't trust that if you leave $20 on the table, that when you get up in the morning that it's going to be there. He said, no, let me get it right. I trust that my $20 is going to be there. And I trust that, you know, if we have $5,000 in the bank, she won't go and siphon the account. But here's what I don't trust. I don't trust that in my absence, if I died, if I were sick, I don't trust that she would handle my business the way that I would handle my business. And I said, wow.
He's probably right.
And so, you know, we that phrase, you know, and Joan hates the idea that, you know, there are more than one way to skin a cat. But
and me too.
But right. So the idea is, man, can I trust that you are going to take care of the business to the best of your ability, even if it's not the way that I would do it? Is it all right for us to expand, you know, our meaning or idea of trust? Or is it that simply we trust different people for different times in different ways? I have an associate, there was a time that I would have called him a friend. I have an associate that if I needed $5,000 and I was going through, I believe that I could trust him to give me the money. And he would trust me to pay him back.
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't trust him in my house with my wife alone. I said he was an associate. But the question becomes, man, how do we have people, so many different people, with so many different variations of this thing called trust, to really understand what it is, what it looks like, what it means to me, what it means to you, and you know, if we were in a relationship, right? When do we sit down and have a conversation about, can I trust you? Because I think in relationships, many times people think of trust as you're not going to cheat on me.
They do. And because for many people, especially in our society, that is the most important thing in a relationship. I need to trust that you're mine and nobody else can have you, which I think is interesting because younger generations have dabbled with things like, well, we've been dabbling for generations. Open marriages were the thing in my generation, where you go to parties and everybody throws their keys in a hat and you pick a key out and that's who you get to spend the night with. Wow. I never went to any of those parties.
All right.
But people did. Or there are ethical non-monogamous relationships now. That's a thing where two people agree that they're in a relationship, they're in a primary committed relationship, but they have relationships with other people and they're open and honest about that with everyone. Nobody's in the dark about that. So that works for some people. There are many different types of relationships. I know people who get older. I had a good friend, her husband had a stroke when he was in his, I think he might have been in his 50s. And it left him non-communicative and in a wheelchair. And he couldn't be sexual anymore. And he told his wife, wrote her a note because he couldn't talk to her, but said he wanted her to have sexual satisfaction with someone else and he would be okay with that. I know, not a normal response, but if you feel that you can't please your wife in this way and you want your wife to be happy. I also know women, I've worked with some women who know their husbands are cheating and they don't confront their husbands because for them they realize that when the husband leaves and spends time with his lover, he comes back in a better mood and he's a better husband for it. They're okay with it.
So because I'm a black man, I'm trying to keep my eyes from bucking right now. So, I apologize.
No, it's just that I do counseling in relationships, and there's a lot of different variations, and that's why I think it's important for each of us to know what trust means to us, and are we on the same page as the other people in our relationships. If I were in business with someone, I would want to know that we could commingle money and make our decisions collectively, not individually. That would be a trust factor. But if they were having sex with other people, I wouldn't care about that because that's not our relationship. If I was in a monogamous, committed relationship with someone, I want to trust that they're not having sex with someone else. But if they do, now I have to recognize this is what I have to trust you to do. This is what you're going to do until you decide it's not what you want. And then I have to decide, am I willing to be in a relationship with someone who's going to cheat? I just want to say, if you have any topics or areas that you would like Richard and I to focus on in future videos, just drop a comment here. Send us an email at the address that's on the screen.